Welcome back to the SLS wrestling podcast featuring Legion. Hello, Legion.
Hello.
They're doing the wave. God, you got to know your place. I know everyone is here for you, not for me. So, and can't blame them as well. So, how you going, Legion?
I am doing fabulous right now.
Fabulous.
How are you doing?
Yeah, doing okay. Like it's we're getting into I was going to say WrestleMania. God, I wish. We're getting into Money in the Bank and that since they made this a standalone pay-per-view, or sorry, premium live event now, as we call it. I'm still iffing and butting about whether it should be a standalone pay-per-view. Like, I can sort of see the money and all that stuff, but like I still think it would.
I can't.
Yeah, go on.
I've been thinking about it since last year, since we first talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of leaning towards it staying as its own PLE. Meaning is because so we can get more matches on the WrestleMania cards.
Yeah, I know. I probably did. I always think when you're at WrestleMania, even though the people at WrestleMania should be hyped, the first match each night, Money in the Bank. Night one, men's, night two, women's, and that. Just to get the crowd really hyped up and all that stuff. And I don't know, like, it's always been my bugbear how to fit in and that, because when it debuted, I think it was 21 when it debuted, and that I just feel like it should have been a stay thing at WrestleMania. But I'm glad. It's just when we get into, like the Hell in a Cell premium pay-per-view we used to have, and I'm trying to think of some others ones as well that were terrible. Like the Breaking Point thing where it was all like quit matches and submission matches and all that stuff, if you remember back in the day. So
don't remind me.
So
Those
yeah.
were bad.
Yeah, it's... and even there was a Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view back in the day as well. So maybe it can stay in that, but I don't know. It's
the Fatal 4-Way one was probably the worst.
I think after a while, I think Hell in a Cell was probably the worst one that they did. Not the Hell in a Cell match, just the fact that it was a pay-per-view and that, and like, I don't know, it just didn't work for me personally. There could be some other terrible ones and that we could bring up, but yeah. And also congratulations, Legion is now the SLS wrestling podcast heavyweight champion of the world. Well done. How much did you win by?
But I think I won by, was it 3 points?
To be honest, I completely forgot as well, and I just I had the
I just had it open and I closed it right before the show.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Well, congratulations. Don't get used to the title because I'm bringing it back after this one.
And honestly, this was won by technicality.
Oh, well, we do like technicalities.
No, let me explain. Let me explain.
Floor is yours.
Because the two matches that you had locked down, you lost. Your two highest points, you lost.
I will say, after one of them was the triple threat women's tag team match, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was.
So yes, it was.
I'm pretty sure.
Was.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because me and you had the same thing.
I didn't realize that all this stuff happened to Alba Fire and that. So I'm actually really glad that they won. And I personally think they could actually do more of the tag team titles than Bianca and Jade, because obviously that was holding off to they're going to have a match. Obviously I don't know when that's still going to happen, but yeah, like I think it probably will happen now at Mania. I guess it's too soon to have them at SummerSlam. And that's but I was actually really glad. There are some predictions you don't mind losing, and that was a prediction after I heard about that. I thought, I'm actually glad I lost that as well. And this is actually, I'm going to enjoy this pay-per-view coming up because I actually get to watch it now. So I'll probably You know, they've had them over in the Europe and all that. Premium live events over in Europe and that. So it's been like 3-4 a.m. for me, and I just say F that. I'm not getting up. So, yeah. Will Solar should be doing a watch along as well. So that'll be yeah, that'll be really, really cool on the thing. But anyway, let's keep on going. Legion, what are you liking in wrestling at the minute?
I'm gonna let you lead on this one.
All right, I'll lead on this one.
I'll explain when it's my turn.
Okay. Well, for me, it's you might not be in the main picture, the title match or whatever, leading on the pay per view, but still knowing your role in wrestling is still really good. And the number one guy I point to this is Chris Jericho, who's now the FTW champion and all that stuff. And the stuff he's doing at the minute, where he's just going along with it, is really good in that. And he's, you know, it's. I don't know. Have you seen much of his work as the learning tree on AEW at the minute? He's got
I've only seen a little bit.
It's really like he knows he's the heel, but he's, you know, with the big smile and, you know, telling all the crappy jokes and all that stuff. But he's playing the role to perfection in that, and that's, you know, I've seen there's a lot of things about Jericho's, you know, physique and that. Like he's in his 50s now, I'm pretty sure, and he's been
something like that.
Yeah, and he's been in wrestling like since. I remember debuting
before 2000.
Yeah, like even before. I think his first actual wrestling match was in 1990, and that's nearly what we're going for, nearly 45 years he's been in wrestling. That probably doesn't make any sense. And that, like, I know he debuted in the 90s and that because he was with WCW in the 90s and ECW.
Yeah, that's where he started.
Yeah, so you know he's like nearly at 40 years as a wrestler, and that's so.
Because isn't his persona like he's a heel, but he acts like a face?
Yeah. He acts like a face and that, and like he's all smiling and asking the crowd how they're doing and all that stuff, and it's like. I was just trying to think, you know, wrestlers knowing their roles like that. Like, you know, like I've mentioned the Young Bucks with the Elite and that, the new Elite and that, like, and that, just trying to think, you know, Miz with R-Truth as a tag team, even though they lost their titles a couple of weeks ago, but, like, you know, them knowing their roles, like, they're not going to be on, like, you know, the last match and that, even though they were the last match. But, you know, just wrestlers knowing their roles when they're not in the main focus story, and that is what I'm really liking from those guys as well. So, what about you, Legion? Have you thought of one? Or
yeah, this one I've been thinking about for quite some time.
Okay.
And it was pretty much the build up and into the debut of the Wyatt Six and how they built into it.
We will be talking about this as well, their debut, in probably a couple of minutes. So. Yeah.
Yeah, that I found that kind of coincidental on that one.
Did you plan that?
Hey.
I
may be stupid, but I'm not smart.
You may be stupid, but you're not smart. Okay, rightio. I suppose you should get in the news, and we'll just lead off with that. What did the White Six, or the White Six, I should say?
Like, yeah, I was confused by that too.
Yeah, what a. I'm going to be honest. I had low hopes for this. That's no offense to Bo and all the other guys. I'm glad Eric Rowan is back in the WWE and all these other guys that are, you know, making up the thing. But my God, what a debut as well! Like, were you expecting that?
To be honest, not to that extreme, but to something, because I don't know if you've seen it, because Bo Dallas had his own little YouTube channel where he was doing these little vignettes about Uncle Howdy, about that persona.
Yeah.
For the past, I think, year, until before they started doing their little things, their little QR codes.
Yeah.
On TV, on the pay-per-views and all that. And they were amazing. I had a feeling like when I saw oh my God, he's coming back.
Yeah.
Just leading up to it. But to see the debut, I was just in utter shock, because I wasn't just like everybody else. I was not expecting it to be that gruesome.
Yeah. Even I will say the fact that I think it was just one camera shot as well. as well from when they with the lantern at the front with God, I forget the name of the character, but Nikki Cross is playing the character. I don't know if you could correct me on that. Then they went back
Yes.
to the Eric Rowan character. God, I should have looked up the character names and all that stuff. And just seeing, like we all thought, oh God, Gable is dead as well, and he was miraculously,
Oh yeah, everybody like he got shot.
yeah, he like it was, it was. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions as well, and that, but it was an amazing debut and that, and so out of left field as well. Like I wasn't expecting stuff like that. My quick question to you is: where do you see the end game for the White Six?
For the White Six as of right now, or just
Just the
in
end
general?
game. What do you see the end game as?
That's a tough one.
It really
Because
is.
because usually I can predict certain things with certain people, but this, like, I have nothing.
Yeah,
I can go anywhere,
yeah. It's also I don't know.
and I'm loving that.
Yeah, it's also I know there was a couple of people that actually didn't like the thing. We won't mention their names here. They didn't actually like the debut on that, but I will bring up someone Bully Ray brought up as well when I was having a look at what he was saying. He was hoping they'd brought up the more human emotion on the human side of the White Six, and they really have with the first interview we saw on the tape with Bo Dallas and Uncle Howley, and I really did. I thought I didn't know how they were going to go along with it, and they even mentioned Bray's death as well. Like I went, whoa, okay, we're going to be.
Yeah,
That
that
took me
took me
back.
away.
That like I went, holy crap! They're getting into the real life story of this as well. Like I thought, okay, I'm sold here, and that. Um, it's yeah. I don't know. It's it's. I hope it doesn't go like Retribution, and that because Retribution had an okay debut, but then it just fell where. I don't know if there'll be wrestling matches. I hope they are, and that like will it end up Uncle
When,
Howdy winning the title?
when they finally wrestle, that what they need to do is make them seem unstoppable.
Kind of like the Fiend is what you're saying.
Yes, kind of like the Fiend, but don't make them completely unstoppable. I mean, like have them win their first like maybe 3 or 4 pay-per-views,
Yeah,
in almost a dominant sense.
yeah, yeah. Mm.
Don't make them supernatural.
I don't actually see. This is from just my personal. I don't actually see Bo. I don't think he'll wrestle as Uncle Howdy. Like I don't the Uncle Howdy. I see more Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, and Dexter Loomis being the wrestlers, and that's so. You know, I enjoyed Joe's work in NXT as part of Schism. Dexter I do enjoy as well, and Eric Rowan I'm really glad to see back in that. So it's interesting to see where they go. Now we'll get to the next story thing as well. We got a few story things. We'll just try and quickly get through them, but we got to mention this. We talk about the more of the NXT TNA crossover. I have to bring
Uh,
this up. Okay, how how loud did you cheer when you saw Joe Henry in NXT?
oh my God, I think I had neighbors complaining.
I like that. We've also seen Charlie Dempsey and the his crew go over to TNA recently as well. So, and I know Jordan
Oh,
Grace has been.
I missed that one.
Oh, it's okay, right? It's literally it happened in one of the tapings and that. So it yeah, Charlie Dempsey and
Ooh.
the he's I forget the name of the group as well, the NXT group, but they appeared over in TNA and that. But I watched it back, like when you watch some things in wrestling and you get goosebumps. The fact that the camera was, I know the NX, it's at the Performance Center where the NXT, um, NXT is, filmed and all that stuff. But the fact that the camera was shaking when his intro came on, like I just went, holy crap!
Oh,
Like,
that's probably because if you read into it, I think I sent you a few things as well. That he became the #1 most viewed clip on social media.
and yeah, it's This is what I'm liking about the NXT TNA thing. It's promoting both. Like it seems to be equally 50-50 at the minute. And I will say one thing: I don't technically agree with how quickly they got rid of him from the Battle Royal. And that he debuted as part of the Battle Royal for the #1 contender for the NXT title and that. So, and they
and
immediately got rid of him, which it probably.
I see why they did it after the fact after like I was upset. It's like but after looking more into it, I saw what was really going on.
And there was even as well. There was another NXT. Sorry, TNA. Was it Kazarian? I'm pretty sure it was Kazarian.
Yeah, it was Kazarian. Yeah, Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah, was that his?
He was the one who eliminated him.
Yeah, was that his first time in WWE, or has he been in WWE? I can't remember.
I think he might. I think he was in WWE in the past, but as like a local talent,
enhancement talent, and all that stuff. That's just Like I'm just really glad that we've got this this Forbidden Door style thing happening as well. I hope it happens more with other promotions and that. So
yeah, I think there's was it TNA Worlds Collide?
Yeah, but that was more
review coming up.
On that happened in the past. Was it TNA Worlds Collide? Was it? I'm thinking of NXT Worlds Collide.
No, it was NXT when NXT and UK.
Yeah, that was that was back with Imperium and the Undisputed Era back in the day. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and just
and did you see that little backstage segment? I think it was only on like a social media thing as well between Joe Hendry and Shawn Michaels.
I did see it in that, but yeah, it's
because he stated that he'll be back on any show. When he stated any show, that means like I put like a teaser in everybody's heads, like he might show like this might extend to Raw or SmackDown.
I think it'll just be NXT for the minute.
It's like but it's just the teaser he put out there, which he's good at.
Yeah.
He is good at those little freaking teasers.
This is what I want to bring up with you as well. This is the thing I talked to you before off stream as well. Tell me a great Joe Hendry match, and it's nothing against Joe Hendry and that. Like this is where we're bringing up the 5 wrestling things. Sorry, Joe. This is what I was talking about with
I was just looking at his matches the other day. To be honest, the best one I probably saw him in was who was it? Oh, I'm brain farting so hard because I saw so many.
It's all good. Like the 5 things wrestlers need. This I
think it was actually Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona. Okay, so Matt Cardona is a really good wrestler as well, the former Zack Ryder and that. So I will say one thing about from what I've seen Joe Hendry, promo tick, charisma tick, the look tick, the X factor or it factor tick, but it's just on his wrestling and that and. I don't know. Like I'm like I know you're infatuated with Joe and all that stuff. Like I really don't mind him in that. But like I said, I haven't seen too many good wrestling matches from him and that. And that's no offense to him. If he can he's gotten over big time just from this. Like as you said, the number one viewed thing this year. With him debuting in the WWE and that.
I think it was post WrestleMania.
Yeah, post WrestleMania. Like, just think about that. Like, it's really good. So yeah. We'll get on to the other news.
but the promo and charisma is the number one thing within the wrestling world that you really need to key in on. The wrestling, is a factor.
Yeah.
Right. If it's like I think was it Bully Ray that said this. That as long as you got those, everything else doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, you do need a bit of wrestling to be fair. Like you can't be. I'm just trying to think who are terrible wrestlers. Great Khali is one that brings to mind.
Well, yeah, but he had like no charisma, no freaking promo, nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. All he had was the look we probably called, and that was only because he was tall.
Yes.
And that's no offense to Khali. That's just the first thing the first name that I could actually think as well.
I'll use this as an example. I might get a little heat. Is Jey Uso? His in-ring skills is meh. I'm sorry, but everything else is like, oh my lord, it's just amazing.
No, I can actually agree with you. I think Jey Uso is amazing, but it's kind of like as well bringing up back in the day with Cena, the 6 moves of doom, like And another one that was one of my favorites and probably my favorite, Steve Austin, like post after his neck surgery and that, but he just became a brawler. To tell me the six, and even another one is Kevin Nash. How many moves did he have? And that, but they all had the look in that. So it's a good point.
Yeah, he didn't have many moves.
Yeah, it's a good point we bring up in that, but I still think you need a bit of wrestling and that, as we'll get to probably at the end of the stream, end of the podcast, which I won't give away. We need to talk about something that happened in AEW that I went, what the hell? I originally thought this was a joke post. I thought, okay, I'm not paying attention to it. But as you're going to tell us, it's gathered more steam in that. Shane McMahon interested in AEW? Really? Like,
well, yes and no. Because himself, he didn't show interest. It was more of a interaction that happened.
So tell us a bit more about this interaction. So
this is reports from reading from Ringside News that him and Mercedes Moné interacted, saw each other at an airport, getting on separate different airlines. They talked for a bit, but at the end, they exchanged phone numbers, which when that happened, it just blew up from there. Meaning the fact that Shane could possibly show up in AEW. That doesn't mean he signed with them, that Tony signed him or is going to. But take that with a grain of salt, that it might happen. And if it does happen, the wrestling world will explode.
It will explode. Like, out of 1 to 10, do you think? God, what's the old saying? You can never nothing is guaranteed in wrestling or anything like that.
Never say no.
Yeah, never say never.
Never say never.
Like, let's be honest. Up until Survivor Series last year, we didn't think CM Punk would be back in the WWE. And that. If he was,
especially after his comments.
Yeah, if he was to go to, how long do you reckon he would last? To be fair, I could see him. I could see him and Tony button heads straight away. To be fair,
as an on-screen personality.
Yeah, as an on-screen personality. Do you think he would go to AEW as an on-screen or more backstage?
He might start as an on-screen for I'm gonna say 6 months at the most.
Would he be good? Would he be good for AEW? Is the big question.
Be honest, depends on the circumstance.
Yeah, depends.
If he's just on-screen personality, no.
Yeah.
But if he's goes on-screen personality to show, hey, I'm here type deal, and then do a small little feud with somebody to get him over.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then work on backstage with the
producers and all that stuff. Yeah, the bookings.
With the bookings,
yeah.
I'm all for it.
Okay.
Because Tony needs another mindset on booking. He really does.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. My issue is just with Shane as well. You heard the story about the 2021 Royal Rumble, didn't you?
Yeah.
Where he was in there and he was pushing hard for him and Lesnar to be the last two. This is a guy that we hadn't seen in wrestling for a long time, and you're going to be the last two of Lesnar and put up a fight against Lesnar? No, I'm sorry. I think Shane still thinks it's something like he's in the year 2000 when he was, actually was still new to wrestling and that he'd been in the wrestling for a bit now. As an on-screen character, I still think he thinks it's 2000. So I just don't. I think it would be more about him, and that's just my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong, but if he was to go to AEW, I think it would be kind of like a CM Punk incident. I don't think it would last too long in AEW, to be fair, because I think egos would clash and that. So, and this is from the son of the guy that made wrestling a thing. We can't forget that as well. Do you think he's really going to go in and listen to someone like Tony Khan, who's got a lot of money? It's just, I'm throwing it up, and that's just my personal opinion.
It's a possibility.
It is a possibility. Never say never. Let's get on to.
And there was also I saw some it was just rumors I don't know if you saw it a month or two ago, talking about wanting Vince McMahon over there. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I did see it and I thought it will never happen.
I actually laughed when I saw it. There was no traction on it. It was just people talking.
What would Vince do in AEW? Vince is what, in his 80s now? Yes. last time I saw Vince as well, like, like I do not see it happening. I'm sorry, especially with what's happening as well. Like, I know that thing is still ongoing. It would never happen. Do you think?
No,
Do you think Vince would be second fiddle to anyone? Hell no.
no,
No.
no.
No. God no. Let's touch on we normally go three major stories, but we'll touch on a couple more stories, and we'll get into this. Don't know if you saw as well. PW Insider are reporting on July 2nd that WWE filed trademarks for Super Brawl, and that
I did see this. I saw this morning. Yes.
One of WCW's not probably one of their big four pay-per-views, I would say. I've got Halloween Havoc, Starcade. I'm just trying to think of the others. Great American Bash. Well, there's probably more on that, but yeah, one of their major pay-per-views on that. So take it with a grain of salt. It's probably going to be used as an NXT premium live event, and that, which I don't mind because they've resurrected, as I said, Halloween Havoc, Great American Bash. I'm just trying to think.
I think all these WCW pay-per-views they're trademarking.
Yeah.
Are going to be used for NXT.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind as well. Like, it brings up, the history and that, which I'm more than happy for as well, especially that. I know, I saw in a recent podcast as well, someone brought this up with Eric Bischoff. Does he think a WCW would work today? And that. And the way that the rosters are getting, like, pardon me, Look at the three rosters. Like, AEW, I think, is the most stacked roster. More stacked than WWE right now. We'll take out NXT from WWE. And that, like, just the Raw and SmackDown and that. I think AEW stacked. WWE stacked. I think even TNA is getting more stacked as well and that. So, would you see, like, I don't know how they would do it as well. Would you see, like, a WCW working as its own? Not associated with WWE. Would you see it working as its own promotion?
It would be really, really hard with three American promotions already.
Yeah.
Let's say if they brought back WCW. Let's put that out there. Let's say if they brought it back.
Yep.
It'd be near impossible for them to gain traction with three American promotions biting.
Yep. Yeah. I completely agree with that as well. So I kind of want. This is just from my own thing. I kind of want WWE to be four promotions, which would be Raw, SmackDown, WCW, and NXT, and that. So, and I don't know how it'll work in that. That's just something I thought of.
And the only way I'll be all for that is if they bring back the old WCW
logo.
page.
Yeah, I completely agree. And that. So, and last bit of news. This has been one of the major, probably. I don't know how this has happened, but they didn't sign Dijak apparently. And that there's actually some other stories as well going. Don't know if you heard that he was apparently leaking news to the wrestling insiders and that WWE news. I don't know if you heard this as well, but yeah, his contract.
I heard a little bit.
Yeah, his contract relapse and that, and like he's on the independents at the minute and that. So
yeah, because I saw one where he was in talk with one of the writers who said that Triple H wanted to have a thing for him, and then at the end of it, it stated that they wanted him to have a match on Main Event, and his exact words, he said, "Hearing that is like a death sentence."
It's
yeah.
He will go down as one of the biggest booking things ever, like
in the Triple H era.
In the Triple H era, he had so much. The matches he had with Keith Lee and NXT were amazing for wrestlers of their size and that. Like I hope he makes it. We were just talking about this off stream, off podcast. Sorry. I hope if he was to go to AEW, he'd probably be lost in the shuffle. He's probably more better to either go to New Japan or TNA. I see it more on New Japan. Hopefully, he spreads his wings and that. So, yeah.
Because I actually said this to you, but with his style of wrestling, I think he'll flourish more in New Japan than anywhere else.
Yeah. I can actually see that. Anyway, that's the news. All right. I don't know if you guys remember a couple of months ago, our good friend Legion over here brought up, what did we originally call it? We called it Dream Match or something like that, didn't we?
Something like that, yeah.
Yep, and you brought up you wanted to see Chris Masters and Bobby Lashley and that. I've kind of more extended onto this. It's going to be, we're going to be calling this booking fantasy. I'm not going to give my thing. I'm not going to give what the booking is yet. It's going to be a 3-part series, and that I don't know how this is going to work. I might see if I can turn it into 2-part, but it's going to be a 3-part booking series, and that Legion has been waiting for this, and I reckon this is one of the best stories I've ever done in that. So
and for anybody who's actually watching this on the YouTube, pause this, make some popcorn, and come back.
Yeah, so I will reveal in the 3rd part what my intentions on this story was in that, because I heard someone say this and this piqued my interest in that. So, and by the way, I don't see this happening, but if this was to happen, I'd be a booking genius in that. So, all right, we start with Money in the Bank. Surprisingly, this week is where the story begins. It is Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens versus the New Bloodline, as they are now known as well. The people appearing from the Bloodline will just have Solo, Tama, and Teo as well. Sorry, Longer, and that I keep butchering his name, and I don't mean to. Apologies. Jacob Fatu won't debut yet. We won't do that yet. So we'll see a 10-15 minute match from them, and that with the guys taking out Randy and Kevin Owens. So it's just Cody versus the New Bloodline. He takes out the other 2 guys, and then all of a sudden he just didn't have enough, and Solo pins him after 3. We'll say we got to protect Cody as well. So we'll have Solo pinned him after 3 Samoan spikes and that. So so we have the New Bloodline winning the 6-man tag match at Money in the Bank and that. On the next SmackDown. The very next SmackDown, Solo announces that someone from the Bloodline will be challenging Cody at SummerSlam, but he won't reveal it till the end of the program. And that Cody comes out like just wanting Solo to announce it, thinking it's either going to be Solo. Solo runs down. It's not anyone here at the minute, but he points to the screen, and the final boss appears, The Rock. The Rock announces that he will be coming for the gold at SummerSlam. Cody is just in shock and Cody is thinking, how are we going to be able to defeat The Rock with the New Bloodline? That the Bloodline is just out of control with Jacob Fatu, Solo, all these other guys and that as well. So the next couple of SmackDowns, it's obviously, Cody's trying to get people and that, like he recruits Jay and Sammy from Raw, and that they come out and help them, and that. But there's, like I said, a major numbers game with the New Bloodline, and that, especially with The Rock as well now at the helm and that. So we'll get to SummerSlam, the main event. Now I was thinking, is it going to be a Bloodline rules match or anything like that? I think I'll just keep it as a singles match, because number one thing is we got to protect both The Rock and Cody and that. So after about a 10-15 minute match, and that the Bloodline, who have not been at ringside, and that start to come out and start to do all the shenanigans and that. So and then we see Jay, Kevin Owens, Sammy, Randy run down, big brawl starting with the Bloodline, and that it's all mayhem, carnage, everything like that. The Rock is distracted by this, looking outside, and that. And I was trying to think how I'm going to end this match as well. And I know it's probably a bit of a cop-out what I'm about to do, but I don't see other way. And that Cody beaten down, after that, rolls up the Rock for a 3. I know I can't see, Cody hitting his finisher 3 times on the Rock and pinning him clean. And that I think Rock being distracted by what's happening on the outside with the Bloodline and Cody's Avengers, as we call them. And that, I think that'll be a good way to start. But then this is where the real fun begins as well. So the brawling starts to come inside, and this is where the Rock, just goes boss mode, and that, destroys all the things. And it's just down to the Bloodline holding on to Cody. You got Tama Longa, Jacob Fatu, Solo, all them around holding Cody. The Rock has got his strap as well that he said he was going to whip him with at Mania, and that. I really should have done this as well. I should have done this when all of a sudden you hear this music thing, and I don't know if you can put it in there, but Roman Reigns music hits, and the crowd goes off. They all think they know what's going to happen. Solo, the Bloodline are looking shocked and that. You know, The Rock's looking shocked, but he's got a big smile on his face, you know, as Roman makes his way to the ring. Roman gets in. Roman looks at Solo, looks at the Jacob Fatu, looks at the new Bloodline. He looks at The Rock. He's got a stone face, and then he starts to smile. He goes for a hug. Rock hugs him, and like Solo, everyone is just there. They're all celebrating and all that stuff. You know, so the other guys are holding, like Cody is on his knees as well, while the other guys are holding his arms and that, with Rock ready to whip him with the belt. And Roman taps the Rock on the shoulder and goes, no, give it here. So he grabs the belt and he is ready. And the Rock is you know, not paying attention. He's looking at the crowd, and that Jacob Fatu is on the corner, you know, celebrating, you know, doing all this stuff. The Rock is ready to hit Cody. He goes to hit Cody, and then he just stops, and then he looks at Solo, just turns his head a little to him, just shakes his head, whips him with the belt, then gets rid of Tama Longu and Teo Longa as well, gets rid of them, you know, and Jacob Fatu is not seeing this. Like, he whips him with the belt, Jacob Fatu takes a fall out to the thing, and that they're all seeing. The Rock turns around and sees what's happening, and he's just stunned, and The Rock and Roman are just ready to go at each other. The Rock actually goes at Rock goes at Roman. Roman, you know, sidesteps and goes out of the ring, and that. And we just got the camera focus on Rock on the outside. He is fuming, you know, mad as hell. And he gets to go in the ring, and we have not seen this, but in the ring is Jimmy Uso. I can't believe I called him Jimmy Fatu. Jimmy Uso with a chair as well, and just standing there, and hands the chair to Roman Reigns, who has put down the belt as well, and slides the belt back to The Rock, even though like it's a heelish thing and that, but you know, they are bloodline and that, so he hands him his belt back. The Rock slowly gets back out of the ring and leaves with the new bloodline, as Roman and Jimmy are in the ring standing at the thing, as we see Cody, Jay, Sammy, Randy, I think I mentioned all the names, just their confused look as SummerSlam ends. End of part 1. Done. Your thoughts so far?
You know how to tease a dog.
What's that?
You know how to tease a dog.
We will see part 2 the next podcast as well. So part 2 will more focus on towards our War Games, and then part 3 will end at Mania and that. So yeah.
Your story was so interesting. I was actually envisioning the whole thing.
I'm unfortunately I'm butchering Tama. It's Tama Longa and Teo.
Yeah, Tongaloa.
Tongaloa and Tamatonga.
Tamatong.
Yeah, I am sorry I butchered their names. I do apologize to them as well. I really should have their names up as reminders and that. So do you see where do you think you see where the storyline going?
Yes and no.
Like I said, that
I do, but
that is just part 1 and that. So it's going to end at Mania, and it's not how you think it's going to end and that. So yeah, so it's out of 10, what do you give it so far?
I'll give it a solid 8.
Nice. I was hoping for high, but anyway, it's all good. You know, I said this is the best story I've ever done. So yeah.
No. What you lost 2 points is that the roll up.
Look, how would you end? By the way,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, to be honest.
I could see like
there could have been other ways, but
I don't. Number one, The Rock is not winning the title. I'm saying that right now. He ain't winning the title at SummerSlam. No. For
there could have been one.
Well,
no, I'm saying there could have been one way for Cody to win that wasn't a roll up.
Yeah, I was just trying to think what other way could I do it. Like, you know, I could have done it with The Rock, on the outside, telling Solo and the new Bloodline stop it, and then he accidentally gets hit by Solo and that, but then that would create tension between Solo and The Rock, and that's not happening in this story. So, I actually agree with you, but I was just trying to think what's a better way to, because Cody is getting the win, in that, so I'm not going to do it by DQ or count out or anything like that, so that was just my reasoning. I know the roll-up is a poor way, but...
Because what popped in my head is like... Because thinking on the fly like that, yeah, the roll-up is the best thing to do.
Yeah.
What popped in my head just now is like, maybe he, when Rock turned around, he can hit him with the Rock bottom for a quick win.
No. Do you think The Rock is going to lose?
Pretty much stealing his own move against him.
Do you think The Rock is going to lose to his own move in this day and age?
It's a possibility in a situation like that.
I just think I know the roll-up is probably a bit of a cop way out, but that's how I went, and that's so. Yeah, we'll go down to
Let's stick with it.
Yeah, I'll stick with it, and that. So thank you. All right. Let's get on to the predictions at Money in the Bank and that. Before we get into the predictions and that, I was also going to bring this up, as well. 6 people on each, 6 men and 6 women in Money in the Bank. Do you think that's enough numbers for?
I think that's the actually perfect number to have. No more, no less.
For me, I think we had one year when there was 10 people, and I went, that's way too much. I think 6.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah. I think the perfect number is either from 7 to 9. I don't know what the perfect number is and that, but I don't know. I'm just trying to... We want to get more, more... I think last year was 7. Like I think 9 is actually too much. I think anywhere from 7 to 8 is me personally. But yeah, go on.
What they need to do is, like, if they do that, do what they did during 2020 Money in the Bank.
What, combine them?
Combine both of them into one match in a sense, and going at the actual headquarters again.
I gotta say, I didn't enjoy that Money in the Bank. Like, I enjoyed the wrestlers in it, and it was they were obviously trying something when it was, during the COVID time and that, but it was, that's, I don't look fondly on that as well. That's just me.
I think the most interesting one is how did they have Ray survive?
I mean,
he got thrown off the building.
I mean, Chad Gable got shot on, a couple of weeks ago, and he's back wrestling. So who knows? It's wrestling.
Yeah, but Ray got thrown off a building.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so all right,
and then back the next night.
We should probably talk about this. We should probably talk about the events. I don't know what's going to be the match. I think I'll just go matches. We'll just.
I think the 6-man tag might be
the main event. I actually think Priest and Rollins might be main event, but we'll go with the Intercontinental title match first as well. Sami Zayn defending the title against Braun Breaker as well. God, since Braun Breaker has come up to the main roster, they have done it perfection for me. And that I've enjoyed him, the badass heel. Haven't enjoyed him, getting rid of Ricochet, and obviously Ricochet is gone now and that. But yeah, it's my question to you is, who needs this more?
In all fairness, Braun needs this more.
Yep. I've enjoyed Sami. He's continued on the lineage of Gunther, raising the Intercontinental title, and that. The matches he had with Chad Gable have been really great, I will say, and that. But I think there's going to be a different story for Sami later on, and that it might come back to him winning the title back from Braun, being the underdog in that. But I got Braun Breaker winning this, and I see him having a long reign as the Intercontinental title. I'm pretty sure you've got him as well, winning.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay. How many points you got him?
3 points.
3 points. I've got it as 4. So. Yeah, as I've enjoyed Sami's Intercontinental title. Like him winning over Gunther at Mania was still the biggest shock to me as well. Like Gunther was my lock for Mania as well. God, I'm having great times with locks, aren't I? God, just gotten really worried about this lock as well. So, but yeah, I think Braun.
Especially the last one, your lock lost.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think Braun Breaker, and he can have great. I could see, he could have really good matches.
Actually, this is his first main event PLE, I think,
Yeah, I think it is as well. So
and it's for the Intercontinental title.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah. So well, he debuted at the Rumble. So, but yeah,
Well, I think. Well, wasn't he still in NXT at the
yeah, I
time?
know, but yeah, we could say anyway. It's we,
Oh yeah,
yeah, but
his
yeah,
first singles
yeah. First singles.
match.
There you go. There you go. Now
There
you
we
go.
go.
And that's yeah. I got Bron winning as well. Let's go
Okay.
to the Bloodline. Let's go to the 6-man tag match here as well. Um, how was the debut of Jacob Fatu as well? Like, whew,
That's they did a tremendous job with him on that one because from someone who, when he was first first brought up on social media that got signed,
yeah,
me being me, you probably know me. I go into background on who this person
yeah,
is,
yeah, yeah.
and I looked up to him, looked into his matches, his promo skills, and oh my, what you saw is what he was during the Indies.
It's
He is a beast.
yeah. Do you see him? You don't see him debuting here, do you? I just see it solo and the Tamatonga and Tonga Loa. I see it them as the 6-man, don't you?
Yeah, it's
It says the Bloodline. It hasn't actually said who the three are, and that's so I see.
I don't see him in the match. I see him as the
Yeah,
enforcer,
I see him as
like
well. Actually, there's actually
'cause
another.
he is an enforcer.
There is another rumor that there is another person, and it's not Zilla Fatu that's going to debut. It's another person. That contract in New Japan has just come up, and that strongly rumored. I don't even know this guy as well, but it's apparently strongly rumored that Hiniku, I think is his name. I'm probably butchering the name. I apologize. Start calling me the butcher as well. That he is going to debut at this pay per view as well. Um,
I actually heard people talking about when I was watching these reaction videos about Jacob Fatu's debut.
yeah,
People were telling, "Is this Hinaku? Hinaku?" I'm like, who like Hinaku? I
yeah,
heard nothing about
yeah.
this.
It's. I hope it doesn't get to the stage where the Bloodline turns out to be NWO, WCW version, and that because we don't want to see. What are we at now? We're at 4 members with possible fifth and
Currently,
yeah, currently
currently, yes.
fourth with a possible fifth and sixth coming was of we said is Z Fatu and then Haniku.
Yeah, Zilla too.
Yeah, Zilla Fatu. Sorry. Um, God, I hope it doesn't get to WCW. I hope it doesn't get to that thing. I think this is pretty straightforward. Obviously, it's Solo and Cody at SummerSlam. I see the Bloodline winning, and also not only I see the Bloodline winning, I see Solo pinning Cody.
Hmm. So yeah, uh, yeah. I also because the Bloodline can't afford to lose this.
No,
They
no,
cannot
they've been
afford
on a
to lose
hot.
this.
They've been on the hottest streak, and with what we think is going to happen at SummerSlam, the number one thing is, well, do you see Roman appearing here, or do you think they're saving him for SummerSlam?
Mm, no, I don't see him appearing.
Yeah, I think it's more they'll save it for the big, SummerSlam pay per view as well,
They say, yeah, I think they'll save us for
and I
SummerSlam.
think the reaction like it's going to be off its hot. It's going to be
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be worse than freaking France.
it's going to be like for a guy that was a major heel and is now getting cheered. Like I can't think of a major heel. Probably someone will bring it up. A major heel being cheered directly after the loss and that. But yeah, also want to talk about how's Paul Heyman taking that bump as well on SmackDown quickly as well. Like I went, holy shit.
That
Yeah, that was
was amazing.
yeah.
Because if you saw when they did the triple powerbomb to him, he had to take a deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
That was because when's the last time he took a bump like that?
I can't remember the last time he took a bump like that as well. Like I'm really surprised. Like I thought there were no injuries as well. Like I just like even they could have had him in the corner, like had a chair there, and someone did the Umaga hip attack on him, something like that. But yeah, hopefully he's not injured, and hopefully it's all good in that. What do you so? Also, you had the Bloodline. Who do you have pinning who in this match?
Yours is the most logical one
Yeah,
to go with. Is the solo pinning Cody, pretty much putting himself like
as the like
uh,
as the,
as the prime.
yeah
Pretty much, he wants to label himself as tribal chief,
yeah
and Cody beat the tribal chief at WrestleMania, what better way to solidify his dominance? That's what I'm looking for. Dominance
Yeah, yeah,
is pinning
yeah.
Cody.
So you've got solo pinning Cody as well.
Yeah.
Okay. How many points you got that for?
I put that for 4 points.
I put that for 5 as well. So I'm interested to see what your lock is now. Like out of the other three. Let's
Yeah,
go.
me too.
Let's go to let's go to the women's Money in the Bank match now as well. Let's go through the participants. We got really should have brought this up while we're here. Actually, I do have it here. We got Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyrie, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Zoe Stark. I'm really glad Zoe Stark is actually in this as well. Like I think she's got.
And there's actually I don't know if you saw, there's a meme going around about this particular match.
No, I haven't seen it. No.
It says there are 5 stars plus Zoe Stark. I'm like, wow.
Oh, I get.
And then Zoe commented on that. She goes, I'm here, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, it's just the way it is, and that's so. I think I would actually make a case for Zoe winning as well. She's not my pick as well.
It would be amazing.
It would be. It's the only one I really don't see have any chance is Naomi in that because she has turned. Like we all expected it when she came back. Like she's now the Dolph Ziggler of the women's division, and if she's happy with that, I'm happy for her as well. But we could make a thing for Zoe, but she's just recently been put in, and has she been winning many matches? She's just been tagging with Shayna as well. And I'm pretty sure there's a storyline with Sonya Deville and those three at the minute. So I don't see her. Yeah, I don't see her winning.
Would be another interesting winner.
Yeah, I don't.
In all this,
I don't see Io Sky winning personally. I think she won it last year.
Not again.
No.
The other interesting one that would throw everybody off guard is if Chelsea wins this.
That's there is apparently and just think about the Money in the Bank. It's a cash in at the right opportunity, and that suits Chelsea's character to a character to a T personally as well.
We actually said the same thing about the Queen of the Ring, if you remember.
Oh, it's all good.
Anyway.
Live podcast stuff like that happened. Yeah, we did. I think we did say that as well, and people are still pretty upset that Lyra Valkyrie didn't win the Queen of the Ring as it was.
I think it was a better move.
I think it was a better move that Naomi won. I don't see her personally winning here, and that you could probably think. I think since she has debuted on the main roster, she has not put a foot wrong as Tiffany Stratton, and I think her winning. I think her winning would make the most sense out of the other 6 personally. I could make a case for everyone except Naomi, but I've got Tiffany Stratton winning the Money in the Bank for the women's and that. So,
and the weird thing is, I have a feeling they're gonna give Lyra Valkyria the LA Knight effect this year, if you remember what happened last year.
Yeah. I mean,
where LA Knight looked like LA Knight was gonna win it, where everybody was ecstatic.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna do that with her.
Yeah.
And then have pretty much Tiffany screw her over.
Yeah. We couldn't make, like I said, any of Zoe. I don't think Io. I think either Zoe. I would make a more case for Chelsea Green. I think it actually, since there's been a women's Money in the Bank as well, it's been 100% cash in. Like you could just imagine Chelsea's character, getting the champion when they're down, going to cash it in, and then losing. I can make a case for that, but I think there's more upside with Tiffany Stratton winning and that. And I've got her for 3 points. What about you? Who have you got?
I also have Tiffany Stratton winning. Like I mentioned before, I see her Lyra Valkyria look like she's going for the win, like the LA Knight effect from last year. Then Tiffany doing the upset.
Yeah.
And then taking her out of the picture to take down the briefcase.
Yep. So we got Tiffany as well. How many you got for Tiffany?
This one is my lock.
Oh, this is your lock. Okay, rightio.
This is my lock.
This is your lock. Let's go to the men's Money in the Bank. We've got Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre. it's just interesting with this match as well, just how many backstories there are as well. Like we've got LA Knight with the backstory of Logan Paul. We've got obviously Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. For me, that's a feud of the year so far. Personally, I don't know what you think, but that's my feud of the year. We've got Chad Gable and the White Six as well. There's a lot of backstories. Then we got guys like Andrade. I haven't seen him too much wrestle since he actually won the match. I know they've been doing promos on him and that. Carmelo Hayes as well. Like I know it's kind of got a thing with Baron Corbin here at the minute, and Jey Uso is just on fire and that. But
Carmelo Hayes is a thing with everybody right now.
Yeah, Carmelo Hayes does have a thing with everyone as well. So it's this is the same as the women's. Like I'm going to eliminate them one by one. Unfortunately, it won't be LA Knight. I think he's winning the US title at SummerSlam over Logan Paul.
Because I think Logan Paul is going to cost LA Knight the briefcase.
Yeah, I think that as well. It's interesting how many people are going to come in this match and cost them the briefcase as well.
Yeah, somebody actually turned this into a meme. This particular match into a meme. Like I saw it today. Remember what happened at WrestleMania during the Cody versus
Roman
match?
This could actually happen here.
It could happen here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because obviously, if Chad is about to win, the White Six might interfere in that.
Yeah, and then for Andrade, he was against Legado, I believe.
Yeah.
LA Knight is Logan Paul.
Yeah, and
the only ones that really don't have much is, of course, Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, and at the moment, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I mean Drew obviously with CM Punk and that, but yeah. There's also a little.
There's people talking saying that AJ should show up to cost him the match. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
As much as I would like for her to make an appearance, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah. This was probably one of my toughest choices. I actually went back on. I think it's come down to either Jay or Drew for me. Like I'll tell you my thing here in a minute. Like I said, LA Knight not winning. Chad Gable not winning, Andrade not winning. I could make a case for Carmelo Hayes, but whoever wins this is not cashing in. It's not cashing in and winning. I will say that because I don't see Cody losing the title probably until Mania, maybe, and I don't see Gunther losing the title on that. So this is my biggest thing. Who would benefit the least? God, I'll get my words right one day. Who would not affect the most if they cashed in and lost? And that's why I went with Drew. Drew's my pick for this as well. I see him winning and then going to cash in on either Cody or probably Gunther. Don't know when, and that I just see CM Punk if affected him like until he can, and then ultimately he'll go to cash it in and CM Punk will screw him again. And so that's why I'm going with Drew. And that I actually think we're going to see a twist on the White Six as well. I'm just putting this out there for you as well. There's a little bit of coronation between the White Six and Jey Uso. This is why I think this will be their first biggest feud will be with Jey. I know they've been doing a lot of Chad Gable, but as you saw on Monday when Chad Gable was there, Jey Uso was there, and that just I could be proven a genius or not a genius in that. So let's just do that. But yeah. My pick for this match is Drew McIntyre. And that. What about you? Cryo? I keep calling you Cryo.
Stop getting out of my head.
What's that?
Stop getting out of my head. Get out of my head.
You picked Drew as well?
I got Drew as well. For the exact same reason you said.
Yeah. It's...
Because it makes more sense.
Yeah, it makes more sense. And, if this was...
And I honestly, I was in the beginning, I was leaning more towards Jay. Needs this win.
Yeah, Jay doesn't need the win. But, Jay is hot. He doesn't need the win.
No, I know he's hot, but how many wins has he really got?
I mean, he needed to win the qualifier and that, and he's been winning probably a couple other. I can't really think about it.
But this one, a lot of people are saying, is this is another chance for Punk to cost Drew another title. Him cash in, and then Punk interfere again. It cost him the title again.
Yeah, yep. That's why I'm seeing it as well. So how much you got for Drew?
I got 2 points.
2 points. Yeah, I got it for 2 as well. So, which brings us to the title match, which probably will be the main event as well. because it's a return of Seth Rollins as well as he challenges Damian Priest for the title. And that was the stipulation: if Seth wins, Damian is out of Judgment Day, and if Damian wins, Seth cannot challenge for the title again.
No, as long as Damian holds it.
Yep, as long as Damian holds it, that is correct. Sorry, I forgot that little thing as well. This was probably, we both got this as 1 point as well. I've just noticed, so we probably got the same thing. They've been teasing the disbanding. Good to see Judgment Day win the tag titles as well, but I think this will be the beginning of the end for the Judgment Day as well, which will lead to them probably costing Damian the title. Not here, probably more at SummerSlam for me. So I've got Damian Priest winning this, and then he'll lose the title, and then at SummerSlam and that. So, what about you? Your thoughts on this match and that?
This is like a really open shut kind of match. Like, it was pretty much given on who was going to win when it was announced. Because I do not see Damian dropping it to Seth.
No. I think
because Rollins does not need a title to be hot.
No, he did. No, he doesn't. No, I think since Priest has held the title, like, there have been a few good. I think he's growing into being the champion, and that, like, it's taken a couple of good matches here and there, and that. So, and we know Seth is going to bring up this will probably be Damian's best match as champion since he's held it, because Seth is that good, and that I see like, the Judgment Day coming out and as Priest has said, he doesn't want interference in them interfering in the match, but I see them inadvertently costing Seth the match, and that's why he won't be able to challenge again, and that's what I see happening, and that. So I'm guessing
because I see I see like you mentioned, I don't know if Gunther will win the title at SummerSlam. We'll talk about that in a future thing.
Yeah.
But I see Damian versus Finn down the line.
Yeah.
Whether it be for the title or not.
Yeah. It might even be at SummerSlam. They might save it for, because isn't Bash and Berlin after SummerSlam? They might save that for Gunther.
No, because Gunther gets his title at SummerSlam.
He does get his title at SummerSlam. That is correct. Yeah. Maybe triple threat at SummerSlam with Finn, Gunther, and
I don't see that. I don't see that. Be honest.
Maybe
I don't see it be the turn yet.
Yeah, maybe it'll just be a feud, Finn and Damian without the title, and that'll be really good as well. So yeah. How many you got? Priest for one as well, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We're even on this. Again, you need to stop.
Yeah, we're literally.
Yeah,
we're gonna be dead even. The only time this is gonna happen is if somebody loses on my big numbers.
Yeah, the big numbers is the issue. Yeah, and that's so. Yeah, So that's our predictions for Money in the Bank. Anyway, let's end the show because we gotta go because we keep on talking and we keep going over the time allotted and that. So and that. But thanks again, Legion, for joining us. I really do appreciate it. We're ending the show with our half-year awards. What we think is the male superstar of the year, the female superstar of the year, pay-per-view of the year, match of the year, and then just a young star and that. Let me go with you first, Legion. Who is your young star of the year?
For the male wrestler of the year.
Just young. No, just young.
Or just a rookie.
Just a rookie of the year. It can be male, female, and that, whichever one you want. Who do you think?
I'm gonna have to go with Braun Breaker, hands down on that one.
Yeah,
he's been very impressive.
Yep. I actually went with Braun Breaker as well, but I had Braun and Tiffany. Since they've made their debut on the main roster, they have not put a foot wrong, and that they have. I think even Tiffany.
I actually have Lyra as the other one.
Okay, I can see Lyra as well, but for me, Tiffany is just ticking all the boxes.
Yeah,
it's basically another. It's like this Trish Stratus. That's how good she could be. I feel like. What's your match of the year so far?
That one I actually could not figure out. I went through a lot of matches. I could not pick one. I tried.
Just throw just say some of the matches.
The one that kept popping in my head, of course, was at Mania, the Roman versus Cody. That's just a classic.
For me, I had Sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying like that. That's a common one where everybody
Yeah,
will say is like that one was great.
yeah. For me, it was you'll probably I don't know how people go. It was Will Ospreay versus Brian Danielson in the AEW. That match is just insane.
Yeah,
You know,
it was.
it was
I don't discredit it.
yeah. And what about pay per view of the year so far? I probably think we both got the same one here.
I'll I'll probably have to go with Backlash.
Oh, we don't have the same one. Wow. Okay. I went night 2 of Mania 2. Every match was just amazing. Like for me. And
Yeah,
that,
I went with Backlash because the crowd had me sold.
yeah, I will say the crowd as well. Yeah, yeah. But for me, just every match at Mania, like at the night 2 of Mania, like the night 1 of Mania, I was a bit worried up until Sammy because it had not been going well. I thought, oh god, this is not going to be another good Mania, and that. But yeah, for me, Mania 2. Who's your female star of the year?
I don't know how people will take this. I really don't. But I would say currently I'd say Liv Morgan.
You need him to get out of my head. I'm saying Liv Morgan as well.
Hey, we're each other said, so stop.
It's just since she returned at the Rumble losing, and then Elimination Chamber she lost in that, and then with Rhea getting injured and her picking up the title, and that she's just played the character to perfection, and that
He's just skyrocketing.
yeah, I know. I was nearly going to go for Tony Storm, but in AEW as well, but I just think Liv just has made made the change of character from face to heel just perfection in that, and we're all enjoying her as it. We're not going to say, especially when there's all these positions in that she and Dom are getting into. Sorry, I had to say. And who's your male star of the year so far?
I know I bashed him earlier, but I'm about to say Jey Uso
Okay.
because he's just been on like personality with the crowd, everything. He's just been on fire. He just needs to get these big wins.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
the only thing he's missing.
yeah. I see that. For me, it's Drew McIntyre. Since the
Actually, to be honest, I was actually going back and forth between them,
Yeah.
just like in the ladder match.
just since he has made this heel turn and that with CM Punk, like it's. I enjoyed Drew as a face, but he's always been a better heel, and this has proven it, and that. So yeah, and that. So anyway,
And that feud a better payoff.
it will hopefully, and that's so. Hopefully it will. Anyway, those are half year things. We'll see if they're still the same at the end of the year. It's going to be it for the podcast. Once again, thank you, Legion, for joining me. Really do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We will
Good being here.
we will pick this up when I think the next pay per view is SummerSlam. So I'll pick this up again with SummerSlam, including part 2 of my booking fantasy as well. That I'll need to. I've got it in my head, but I'm going to keep on working on it and that. So.
I can't wait.
I do have the end game. I will have the end game, and I'm interested to see how you think about the end game. But until next
You gonna
time,
kill off Tony Stark?
no, it's gonna be revealed that Cody's father is Darth Vader. No, I'm kidding. That's what they're all saying. That anyway. I'm Sugar Ray.
And I'm Legion.
He is Legion. We will see you next time on the SLS Wrestling Podcast. Until then, enjoy the wrestling. Bye bye.
Bye.